Hi, my name is Betsy Davis, and this is my final presentation for Business Class 343, and I chose case number 10, Are Special Skills the Same as Merit? In this case, I am the Personnel Director. So, summary of the case. Jose Obrador is a fire dispatcher who works a 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. shift. The firehouse has a temporary vacancy on the 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. shift due to the regular dispatcher being on maternity leave. Since Jose is bilingual, the fire chief transfers Jose to the 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. shift. A temporary vacancy notice has been posted to fill this position, but no volunteers, so the chief transferred Jose to cover the shift until the regular dispatcher returns from maternity leave, which is in 6 months. Jose was the most junior bilingual dispatcher, but has more seniority than other dispatchers. His seniority was enough to keep him on day shift, but the transfer was made despite his objections. The city admits that they transferred Jose because of his ability to speak Spanish. Jose files a grievance and requests to be transferred back since the city violated the collective bargaining agreement. So the overview of each position. So the union's position is that the contract, the collective bargaining agreement has been violated, that Jose should return to his normal shift of 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And they agree that Jose was transferred because of his language ability and he had enough seniority to work a different shift. My position is past practice comes into play since the city has considered language ability as a factor in establishing schedules for the last 10 years. The schedules actually specify how many bilingual workers are required per shift. The assignments are based not only on seniority but language ability as well, and the city was able to provide examples where junior employees were promoted over senior employees because of the language abilities. And then I also agree that Jose was transferred because of his language ability and had enough seniority to work a different shift. So some of the potential contract provisions that come into play in this case. The first one is Article 6, Management Rights, Section 1. Without reading the entire article, since it's pretty lengthy, it basically states that management has the right to exercise control and discretion over organizations and efficiencies of operations of the city, which include right to assign work, transfer, and schedule employees and positions with the city. Some additional contract articles are Article 6, also under Management Rights, Section 5, delivery of municipal services in the most efficient, effective, and courteous manner is of paramount importance to the city of Ditchburn. Such achievement is recognized to the mutual obligation of both parties and their respective roles and responsibilities. Article 10, no discrimination. Section 1, the city and the union agree that the provision of agreement shall be applied equally to all employees in the bargaining unit without discrimination as to age, sex, marital status, race, color, creed, national origin, or political affiliation. Article 30, layoff and recalls. Section 2 is recalls. Part A, employees shall be called back from layoff according to the same criteria for layoff. So, for example, the most senior person will be recalled, unless in the city's judgment special skills are required. Article 31, under seniority, Section 1, all provisions within the article shall constitute the basis for establishing a uniform procedure of seniority for vacation, shift transfer, days off, preference, and overtime. Also in this article, Section 4 states it is recognized that the principle of merit must be given consideration in any efficiency-conscious organization. Therefore, the department division heads reserve the right to final determination regarding employee transfers, shift assignments, days off, and vacation time. So in preparing for my presentation, I reviewed the 7 step-by-step processes for a collective bargaining process, and I utilized them in my presentation. So in preparing for my case, I want to keep in mind that the main point is to keep attention on the entire package and its ultimate results rather than the immediate gains or losses. It's important that I am prepared and have all my necessary information readily available. This might include collecting data pertaining to the presentation from the union side of things, anticipating types of questions that they might have, reviewing previous sessions in previous contracts, and then types of rebuttals to be given, statistical support, the economic data, and assessing the political climate, and so on as needed. Ultimately, I'd want to work with the union and settle their claim of violating the collective bargaining agreement through a grievance or litigation process and not reach the arbitration level. This could cost the company money and time. For this particular case, reaching arbitration would possibly be in our favor, since arbitrators normally use 3 elements. They go by contractual language, intent, and include past practices. So some of the key points that I pulled from this case for my presentation is past practice. You know, it's huge in this case, since the city has been handling schedules the same for the last 10 years. That's been related to language ability. A past practice is any longstanding frequent practice that is accepted and known about by the union and management. 2 of the articles that I felt were would apply to this case and would help justify our case would be Article 30, Section 2, the recall, where it discusses how seniority will not be a factor if the city's judgment is that special skills are required for the job, and then also Article 31, Section 4, where ultimately provides that the department division heads have the right for final determination regarding employee transfer, shift assignments, days off, and vacation time. So my presentation would include examples of where we had the junior employees who were promoted instead of the senior employees based on their language abilities. I would also have examples of the schedules that they've used for the last 10 years, where the language ability was a factor and where they specified the number of bilingual workers that were required per shift. Again, I would specifically touch on those 2 articles, Article 30, Section 2, about the recall, as well as the Article 31, Section 4, about the right to the final determination as 2 main points, or 2 main articles for this presentation. So in conclusion, from my point of view as personnel director in the case I'm presenting to the union and the arbitrator, the city did not violate the agreement when they transferred Jose Obradors, because for the past 10 years, they have considered language ability as a factor. Shift assignments were based not only on seniority, but language ability as well. Thank you.